So I got to show you this video. This was bouncing around lefty Twitter. And at first I thought it was a joke, but it turns out it's real. Look at how Steven Crowder starts his day with his coworkers. I guess this is either just before their production meeting or just after it or whatever. Watch.
Really accurate. That's a good burn. Yeah, it is. Sometimes a 4-year-old. Get that burn. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Come on, dude. Come on, bro. Bro, what was that? So, the most impressive trick that some people on the right have pulled off is convincing people that they're edgy outsiders and that they're counterculture. Because ultimately, it's almost by definition. They're like power-humping sycophants. That's like almost part of the definition of being on the right. Like, you like tradition, you don't want to change stuff, and you like the social order, and you like the way things are. So, you're not edgy. You're not edgy. You're nowhere near edgy. You're not counterculture. You're not like a brave truth teller. I mean, this is like fucking mindless, authoritarian silliness. And by the way, if you don't think it's that, stop and do a little intellectual exercise here for me. Imagine anybody else in any other country doing the same thing. Like, does that not make you laugh? Like, in Canada, they're fucking pledging to their flag, or in Iran, they're pledging to their flag, or in fucking Burundi or something. It's like, you look at it, and the first thing that comes to mind is, like lemming. Like, you're just sheep. You're just fucking following the crowd. It's mindless fucking repetition of blind worship. Like, that's the opposite of independent thought and of being intellectual. It's like you were born here, okay? You were born here totally by chance, and now you think like, yes, my country? Oh, my country is so special. Oh, it's so special. Mommy tells me my bottom is the most special part of my bottom, Mommy. Yes. Oh. There you have it. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. It's just, they're not edgy. They're not counterculture. They're like, fucking power-humping losers. And by the way, this is why I've maintained that you have to be anti-censorship if you're on the left. You have to be for free speech if you're on the left. Because ultimately, the targets of censorship always end up being the left. Why? Because we actually threaten power. We actually threaten power. When I, argue nonstop against Wall Street, when I argue against the military-industrial complex and the fucking war machine, when I argue against Big Pharma and the for-profit health insurance companies, when I argue against lobbyists and billionaires, they have all the power in the country. They have all the power. So they have connections. They have, they could shut down criticism of them like that. You have to not open the door to censorship, because when you open the door to censorship, it's immediately flipped on the left. People with no power. So now you see, like, here's the guy who's convinced a lot of people he's like edgy. What if you're not edgy and you're just like a silly person? That's all I see right there is like a really, really silly person.